Okay, guys, except for the people in the car. I see a couple of people in cars. So do not participate on this if you're in a car. I want everybody that's not in a car to close your eyes and start focusing on your breathing. Take 3 deep breaths to the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3, in, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2. Now do it on your own. Take these breaths with your abdomen. Make your abdomen go out. This isn't a chest breath. This is an abdomen out. Your goal is to take your attention out of your day right now, whatever you got going on, putting out fires, people upset at you. Got to get this lock in before it expires. Whatever you got going on that's pulling hard at your attention, let all that go. Now let's create an agreement that comes right from your integrity. This is an agreement between you and you. This is not an agreement between me and you. In the chat box, again, if you're driving, you're exempt from this, but in the chat box, everybody that's not driving, what kind of time do you have to be present on this call where you can focus, where you can stay in this energy that we have right now? What kind of time do you have? If it's 7 minutes and dude, I'm on the way to closing and I'm out in 7, awesome. That's integrity. If it's, bro, I got 15 minutes for you. I am getting lit up right now. And I just got a notification that rates have moved a quarter in pricing and I need to get on it. Awesome. I can go to 50. So I have 43 minutes that I can be completely present with you guys. If you can do that for the whole 43 minutes, put that in there. But the key is your attention. And work on this during this call as well. When you see your mind wander, when somebody asks a question or somebody's talking about something that you don't think is applicable to you and your mind starts going to a deal and what you should have said on the phone call that you just have, see if you can bring it back to this present moment. Because one of the other things we're doing right here is teaching you how to increase your attention span so that you can be present with people. You will get so much more done in so much little of a time. So I'm going to ask that if everybody that's on the call, as long as you're on the call, that you give your attention to the person that's speaking on this call. What I'd like to do first, and I want to do 2 things here. The first one is if you're struggling at all with your mind right now, if it's in any kind of fear, if it's in any kind of worry, if it's in any kind of low vibration, if anybody's come to a live event, you guys will know what I'm talking about when I say low vibration. If you haven't yet, then basically key in on your mood. Are you in a good mood right now? That's an easy way. How are you feeling? What's the experience of being you right now? Is the experience of you being happy, anxious, stressed, joyful, grateful, angry? What's the experience of being you right now? And if you have anything that's not from a grateful place or above, take this time right now to think about what you're most grateful for in your life. And if you can't think of anything, be thankful that you're breathing right now. We live in an amazing country that we have opportunity to have a profession that has an unlimited amount of income. We can create what we want from this business. There's nobody putting any limits on us, that we get the opportunity to improve each and every single day, that we get the opportunity to serve and to help people through a very anxious time, and we get paid very well for it. We get the opportunity to have a flexible schedule, that if we need to go to our child's t-ball game, we have that opportunity to get this. People all over the world do not have the opportunities that we have. So let's everybody get into a grateful place about where we are. And let's go around the room right now. So in the chat box, I want anybody that has experienced any success from doing the Win the Day system right now, if you can be specific about any of the results that you're seeing, any of the benefits that you're seeing, I'd love to hear from you guys. What, from your own words, what are you guys seeing right now? Joseph, you were on first, and I noticed right when you got on, you were smiling, and I'm like, man, I haven't seen you smile in 6 months or however long it's been since you've been in. I'm serious,
yeah.
You know, and you're smiling and you're laughing. It's the first time I've ever sseen that energy from you. And then I said, hey, it's good to see you, Joseph. And you're like, man, it's just so good to be consistent right now. So I want it. And then I said, oh, say that so that we come back to it. So in your own words, and I want anybody in the chat box, if they're experiencing any success with this, I want you to be speaking from a position of that. I guarantee we have people on this call that aren't consistent yet or haven't made that shift into being consistent. So speak to them. What are you seeing in some of the results? What are the benefits that you're seeing in your life right now?
Yeah, just being consistent on winning the day, Monday through Thursday. It just you feel good about yourself because you've kind of built on.
So use I language. I feel, yeah. So
I feel like I've built on my business for that day. I've done something constructive to help build my personal brands, and just make myself known. Before I was, I wasn't consistent. I would just get kind of lost in the day with putting out fires. And at the end of the day, I was like, okay, I did nothing today to better my business. So just at least spending an hour or two on working on your business yourself, like you say, will compound on itself. So, just reaching out to past clients yesterday.
Feels good, right?
Having them respond and say, I did a great job on their loan. I'll keep you in mind for the future. Just kind of reaffirms what I'm doing. And
awesome, man.
The great job I'm doing. So,
well, thank you for sharing. Yeah. Let's go to Robert Grove. What have you seen? And I'm going to PT after this, even though I'm pretty sure, but I like calling her PT.
Yeah, I think
go to Robert Grove.
How you guys doing?
They're awesome.
I think the consistency has really helped with me. I'm having many more conversations with real estate agents, whether it's in person or whether it's over the phone. I'm letting them kind of dictate how they want to meet. And I'm not so stressed out when that meeting, I can tell that, okay, maybe this isn't somebody I really want to work with.
Nice.
I'm kind of going, okay, well, I know I've got another phone call or another meeting here coming up in another hour or two, and I'll just keep moving until we find people that I really want to work with.
You have a totally different energy now too.
Yeah, no, it's been good.
Yeah,
it's been real good.
Completely different energy in you as well. So great job, man. Yeah. And, I think big picture is what he just said is so beautiful. This is one of the secrets to top producers, is that it's not like every realtor is great and that you want their business. But if you don't have a consistent way each and every week that you're reaching out to connect with people and that you're holding an eye for qualification too, then you get into this scarcity place where you think like, God, I'll just take any realtor that'll give me a $72,000 double wide deal, and that's good, right? So if you don't like by not being consistent, then that's where we get ourselves into those bad places. So yeah, one of the secrets to top producers is they have consistent systems, but they're always having an eye for qualifying. I'm sure that you guys, every single one of you guys, either you watched a webinar, or you referred to us, or you were on a presentation or something that you came in. We didn't say, okay, great, you're in. Do you remember that a minimum of 30 minutes we spent with every single one of you guys? That's our minimum. And I guarantee we spent longer with some of you guys. You know what's really going on right there is we're asking questions to learn about you to make sure you're a fit for our community. You see the difference right there? But if I'm not doing consistent marketing in that, then we're like, okay, I'll take any loan officer that has a breath. And, and I'm like, now we don't like, look how awesome this community is. So one of the keys to growing your business is to be consistent with marketing and sales so that you can have an eye for qualifying too. Does that make sense, everybody? It's one of the other things that's going on here. So thanks for sharing that, Robert. That's a fantastic point. PT.
Hey, so I've been consistently doing videos since we got back from Elevate.
Awesome.
I do a video every Tuesday, and what I started doing was just kind of going out and following like Eric or Jenny just to kind of get an idea on what they're doing, how long the videos were. I've kind of been posting some of the same material, but I've gotten realtors that are reaching out to me wanting to, I have a realtor that wants to have lunch this week with me. I have another realtor that I did deals with in the past, but I was probably never on their approved list. But he sent me like 3 deals this week.
Yeah.
So,
amazing. And it's just starting. It's just like you get, does it make sense when I say to you guys, it's just the beginning? Does that make sense to everybody? Does this make sense also? Susan, I'm talking to you, but everybody else answer this for yourself too. Susan, does it also make sense to you when I say that doing this every week for 50 weeks a year or 48 weeks a year, how many, if you take off 2 or 4 weeks, do you see how you can hit these gigantic numbers in 18 months, in 2 years, in 3 years? Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense when I say that every single one of you, if you just do this stuff at some point, and I want you guys to have peace about this, at some point you're going to go, my goodness, I have so much business. I don't know what to do. And I'm starting to get overwhelmed. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me put everybody's face up on my screen. Hold, please. I need to see if everybody's nodding their head or not nodding their head. Does that make sense to everybody? So either nod your head or if it doesn't. If it doesn't make sense, then I will call on you. Okay. Does that make sense that when that starts to happen to you, that you immediately talk to Dan and say, hey, when are you guys starting the next level 2? We're doing a level 2 live event in 2-3 weeks in San Diego where I put everybody in masterminds and we just go through your fulfillment system and you commit to it. And then we have processes that you do so that you can start to hire and train. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So I don't want anybody to get, what I've noticed is a lot of people will stop doing it once they get really busy because then they get the fear of overwhelm. Does that make sense? They'll go, dude, I actually did what you said for like that whole 90 days and I have 31 loans in my pipeline right now and I'm going crazy and blah, 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 right? Like that can happen. I'm not kidding you guys. In March of 2009, I locked 48 loans. And I hadn't been doing it that long. I hadn't been doing this system consistently for that long. And I was like, oh my God. And the CEO of my company called me and I thought he was going to call. I saw his name come up on my phone and I'm like, he's calling to tell me how awesome I am right now. That's really cool. I'm like, hey man, what's up? And he was like, you are not allowed to lock another loan. Stop it now. You do not have the fulfillment system built. And I was like, man, you're a jerk. That's what my first thought was. I was like, dude, I just locked 48 loans and you're yelling at me to stop it. But I learned a valuable lesson right then where I was like, okay, we do live in a fulfillment business as well. This isn't multi-level marketing business. So It's sales, marketing, but what you can do is systemize fulfillment. And that's what we're going to be doing in San Diego with the people that are currently in level 2. Systemize the fulfillment, and you can hire that. Once you have a system, then you can hire fulfillment, and you can always say in sales and marketing. And that's the secret that top producers probably don't want to tell you, right? They don't want to tell you like, oh, wait a second. You can systemize and hire to fulfillment, and then your job can become sales and marketing only. And then that's how you get 50 units a month. That's how you get 80 units a month. That's how you get 100 units a month. So when you see people, at company rallies or all that stuff, and somebody's like, I closed 1,000 units last year. And you're like, dude, how did you do that? You couldn't have slept, and you must be 3 people. They actually work less than you guys are working. I'm not kidding. Does that make sense to everybody? But you have to get this part first so that it makes sense. You have to get that your business is sales and marketing. Your job is fulfillment, but you can systemize fulfillment, and you can systemize a job, and you can hire people to do jobs. Does that make sense to everybody? But you never want to hire somebody to do your business, which is sales and marketing. Does that make sense? Cool. I don't even know. Did I even remotely answer your question, Susan? Do you even have a question, or?
No, you did.
I just went off on a crazy tangent, but I felt
what you said helped. I'm excited about level 2. What I think for me is like when I came in, I did Monday, Tuesday, and I did your post on Thursday, but I never did videos on my own, and I never did the Wednesdays consistently. Me doing the videos has really taken my business up a level. And now that I'm reaching out on Wednesday, it's easy because people are like, when I call people up and I'm like, oh, I want, just want 5 minutes of your time. I want to talk to you. And they're like, yeah, I want to talk to you too. I see what you're doing. I'd love to learn about that too.
I love that you just said that. Thank you for sharing that too, because this is one of the key things. Like when I start going into challenges, I bet you, because I've heard it so many times, people go, okay, how do I get realtors to send me business? Right. And that's the wrong question. The right question is, how do I connect with great people? Right. And when you start getting out there in all these different places, they see you become a local celebrity. Once people pass through level 2, right, and they have a fulfillment system that they defend to us, and I can say, so if somebody can give you 50 loans right now, and I can see the fulfillment on that, then I'm going to tell you like this: then you either hire a marketing director or you hire us in level 3 to turn you into a local celebrity, and you become the sales and marketing person. That's the path out right there. But you guys right now in level 1, you guys have to get comfortable on video. You have to get comfortable with the voice that we're teaching on the Thursday post, right? Like you might look at Thursday post and be like, dude, I don't talk like that. And I'm like, start talking like that. Does that make sense? Because this has all been proven. These are all posts. In my day, these are all things that I did that worked really well. But in my day, it was email on the 2. Right? We didn't even have BCC yet. So I had all the people I knew in the 2, like 100 people in the 2. I don't know if you remember getting emails like that where everybody saw it, right? And then it would be me writing stories and stuff on that. And I'm like, it worked so gigantically just when I had email in my day. And it was like through the process of social media that I was like, oh my God, like you guys have such an opportunity in front of you. Like you get to reach so many more people. And with my system, just on email, I went to 111 million. So I look at you guys and I'm like, just do the stuff, build the systems. I promise you, it's insane what you can do. Does that make sense, everybody? But go through these things. If you don't get consistency and you don't get sales and marketing first, you're not allowed in level 2. You're just not. You can't get it. You've got to get this. You've got to get the consistency piece first. Is that fair for everybody? Awesome. Did you want to say anything else? That was an awesome share, and like another like unintended consequence in a good way, right? Like it makes the Wednesday part really fun, because one of the other secrets is when I did Wednesday in my system, they did all know me. It wasn't cold.
Right.
They'd be like, oh yeah, I heard you for dinner. I saw you over here. And then, oh yeah, you go with blah, blah, blah. And now I'm talking to people and I'm like, do I want to work with this person? That's what I'm thinking. I'm not kidding. I'd be like, do I really want to work with this person? Do I not want to work with this person? And that's literally what it comes to at some point. But it takes time. You know, even me, like I can tell you how I was at the end of my career, and I'm always trying to remember back to the beginning of my career so that I'm a better coach to you guys. So you just have to have faith, but that's another reason I do it in groups too. And I keep like, right, like where I tell Jenny and Eric they're going to be the first people in our level 3 because they've done the work. Right. But I will tell you this, and I'd say this when they're in the room, I say this in front of them too. This is not behind their back. They were not good when they started. They weren't. You guys coming in now, you're like, oh, those guys are awesome. And I'm like, my goodness, if you would have seen what they were doing in the beginning, it's astonishing. So, and you could see it, like go put Eric Zentelli in search, and then you'll get all the list of his, go back to 15 or 6. No, I think it was 15. Yeah. Go back to 15 and look at the videos he used to do. Like, he'd be like, is this good? And I'm like, nope. Nope, do that again. And there was one that he did like 47 times. He's like, this good? I'm like, nope. So, but now they're serving for you guys as people, like they put in the work. They didn't stop. They kept doing it. They'd laugh at themselves. And now it's just amazing where they're at now. So that's our hope and prayer for each and every one of you guys. So thanks for sharing, Susan.
Thank you.
Stephanie.
Hey guys. Yeah, I think it's been, I consistently have been doing the win the day. I guess for the most part of the year, I missed a couple of weeks from being out for surgery and, going to Florida for a week. But, so for me, it's been pretty much all of the days. I think it's really honestly just like, if I have not done what I need to do, like, some days I might not post my video till Friday, but before the end of the week happens, I will have done all 5 days, because some days, like my kid got sick with the GI bug and I was out for 2 or 3 days. That got me behind, but I didn't get to do my Monday videos that day, but I did them on Tuesday afternoon. So it's like, sometimes it doesn't always work out 100% like per day for me.
That's okay.
So I always make sure that throughout the week that I do each day, even if it has to, like as a mom and stuff, I get busy, but I always make sure that, but I'm trying to get more consistent. I think the biggest thing for me was learning that you are 100% right. You have to do these things first thing in the morning.
I'll tell you this, it's like, I'd love to tell you that I'm smarter than I am, but I'm not. And like, I learned all of this by trial and error. And it doesn't sound too brilliant to be like, oh, you know what I finally figured out is that I had to do it first, right? Like it's almost like in a course, but it really was this like dun 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 dun. And then there were no coaches teaching my system, right? So it was like I did it with my assistant, and I'd be like, okay. So I went into the office at 8:30, and then it was 8:30 to 9, and our job was to get it done by 8:30 to 9. And then I made her accountable to that. So and this, for you guys that have assistants, this works really, really well. Is then I'd say your job is to make sure that from 8:30 to 9, then I get this done each time. And when I come in, like a bat out of hell and have something in there and I'm pushing on you not to do it, it's your job to make me do it. So, I didn't have a coach at the time, so I actually used my assistant for that. And I'd love to tell you that I came in every morning and was like singing Zippity Doo-Dah with a bluebird on my shoulder and just did the system, but that's not the truth either. I would come in and be like, and, okay, get a good place. I'm serious. You can ask her. All right, get in a good place. Okay, smile. Okay, good. And then I did it. But you learn over time. And then it becomes really easy. And then we used to time it. And I think the best that I got was 13 minutes. And I can get them done and I can get each day done in 13 minutes. And it just became part of my system. And it was just astonishing. And then I thought everybody was doing it. And it was when I started speaking and people were like, I realized nobody was doing that I was like, oh, I should go back and help these people. So that's kind of my story there.
Yeah, it's really important. I found the most successful weeks I've had is when I actually stuck to the daily one and actually did it in the morning. I feel like that's a goal that I'm working towards. And, it's taken me a while to get there. But I think once you realize that that's truly how the system works and that you just have to tackle it first thing before you do anything, I'm trying to do it before I even check my emails in the morning. Like just
Mm-hmm.
because then I start reacting and get sidetracked. So, but it's been
I
great.
couldn't do it. Once I got reacting, I'm cooked. And it was only
done.
I mean, and reacting for me could be like, oh crap, I got it. And then it would be like, and then I'd be talking to somebody, right? And then I'd be off on this and I'd be thinking about it. And it was, and guys, the Elevate, we keep more business related, right? For the people that go to Elevate, we're in a month, we'll release the details on Inspire, which is the summer, which is then we go into other areas of your life, because here's the truth. If you're a 10 in your business, but you're a 3 in finances and a 1 in health and a 2 in relationships, and your mindset's off, that's going to impact your business too. It just does. I'd love to tell you that you could just do business and win the day in business and the rest of your life will magically fall into place, but that's not true. So what we do in Inspire is we look at the other areas too. We look at business, but we look at the other areas. And when you get upper level, it's when you put in all these little disciplines that you get done in the morning that move all your areas of your life better. And then that's where everything gets really upper level and everything gets really, really fun. So that's what we do at Inspire too, but teaching you guys business. And I love that you said it like that. You're creating new habits. And when you're creating new habits, you're going to get resistance, Stephanie, right? And then you're seeing that. But that's why winning the day is the most important thing, because it's right here and right now. See what I mean? And so it's like the only thing that I ask of you guys is that you don't do tomorrow I'll start. That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
The thing that works is I'm going to win today. And even if you have to fight, like what you're saying, and it's 11:15 and you didn't do it and you do it, that's winning the day. Losing the day is it's freaking late and I didn't do it. Tomorrow I'll be better.
Yeah.
Then that's losing. Does that make sense?
And the Monday updates, I'm trying to get better, but like I have learned that, November, it was the slowest I had been in 5 years. And now, I mean, I've just turned in my 5th deal for the week today. So it's starting to really crank back up again. And you start to get 25.
Hold on. You said you. I'm
sorry.
You said you start cranking. So
I turned in my 5th deal of the week a while ago, and it's only Wednesday. And, I find myself now having to do 3 videos for, 22 different loans. Mm-hmm. And it gets a little time consuming. So like, I'm trying to
You want me to help you out? You want me to help you out?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is where I want you guys to all hear this. Okay. So when you go, dude, how did you come up with the system? Why did you do this? It came about when I hit that point, when I started doing it might've been 15. It was somewhere between 15 and 20 where I was like, this is driving me crazy getting these status calls from all these people. So it came from a reactionary with me where I started training my agents and the clients, and I'd tell them in the beginning, I'd be like, this is how I work. And what's cool about us is you're going to get a status update every single Monday for exactly where you are in this loan, so that you don't have to be worried during the week and sending me what's going on with my loan. And the same thing with agents. I know that this is your big commission check that's probably paying your mortgage for the next 2 months, right? Right, Matt Newman, right? It's a big deal. That's what's going through your head. Matt was a realtor for a long time, right? And you guys are going, gosh, they're so anxious and they're always asking me for updates. And he's going, dude, I need to pay my mortgage. So you better get the loan done, right? So when you talk to Matt, or you talk to a realtor, or Matt, now that you're a loan officer, when you're talking to realtors, you say, hey, I know how it is, right? I know that you want these updates. So what we do for you is we do this every Monday, so you know exactly where we are in this loan process, so that you don't have to worry throughout the week. Takes a little while, but you train them in that. And so you do 22 loans, 3 update videos that you'll get better at, so that they all take maybe 3 minutes. So you do 3 minutes times 22, it takes you an hour and 15 minutes. And you go, man, I don't have time to do this. And I'm like, you just spent an hour and 15 minutes so that you don't get any status calls for the rest of the week. That's being proactive. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense? Like where that came about for me? This didn't come about from me being like, okay. It didn't come about from me thinking I wasn't doing it for marketing at the time. What happened was I was trying to control the inflow, and it became this amazing marketing tool. Does that make sense, everybody? That's how it came. That's how I developed that. And then it was, oh my God, Now the listing agents want to meet me and talk to, like, they're like, nobody does this. And so it was this very like organic way. So when I teach it to you guys, it became one of the best marketing I do, but it came from a time efficiency, Stephanie. So for you to shift from, God, I got to spend an hour and 15 minutes on Monday doing this too, that probably saved me 15 hours this week on status updates. And you train them and you work with these agents over time, and then they get to know it. Then they talk to their bars about it. Stephanie's so awesome because you're going to get these update things and you're not going to need to bother her. And everybody likes you. And it's amazing for spending an hour on Monday. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And you start getting organic business out of left field. I don't know if it's happened to anybody yet, but it will.
It has for me.
That's what I mean. It will. Like, as I said, it was another unintended consequence for me that I was like, golly. I was trying to manage the inflow of business even a little bit, and I was like, I'm getting more from this. This is crazy. So that's how it came about. Cool. Thanks for sharing. Anybody else want to share about? Did you raise your hand, John? Or are you talking to somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get good traction on my videos. I mean,
Awesome, man.
Like I'm new to this whole realtor marketing thing. So I've been sending those videos or posting those videos pretty consistently, and it's starting to work.
Mm-hmm. Cool, man. Well, I'm super proud of you. Matt Bassett, being a good guy, says he's so proud of your growth, Susan. So that's cool. Ben, did you want to say it, Matt? I don't want to put any words in your mouth. Oh, you're good? Okay. Ben, do you want to unmute yourself? And
yeah. Hey, everybody. So I've actually had in the last probably 7 days, but last week, I've had 3 different realtors reach out to me to set up meetings to get, just kind of get my ideas on, just kind of, brainstorm on different ideas for them to do.
Yep.
They see my videos on Facebook and they all basically want to know the secret sauce, I guess you could say,
Yep.
So we, it's great having, not having to actually be the chaser. People are chasing me now. So it's really great to have that.
And it's organic, right? Would you describe it as, does that make sense when I say organic to everybody? I went and took my son to a friend's house on Sunday night, and I go up to the driveway and I see a car, and I look over and I'm like, that's one of my realtors that I used to know. And I just heard her in her language. She was like, hey, Deryck. And then she was like, okay, my business is like this. How should I do this? And how should I? And I was like, God, I mean, it's just amazing. It's still working, right? And I haven't been doing it for 5 years. May will be 5 years. So it's still happening. And it will. That's what when I talk to you. Does that make sense when I talk to you guys about compounding, like over time, like where this kicks into like a really gigantic level? Awesome. Okay, cool. So we're at 36 and I got 37. I got 13 minutes left. Let's see if we can go right now. Who has a challenge? Okay. Who has a challenge that they're excited about because they know that by overcoming challenges, that's where they get growth. So instead of, hey, I have a problem, right, or an obstacle, I have a challenge right now that I want a little support from either you or the group, because I'm excited about challenges, because challenges allows me to grow. And the more that I grow, the more that I get better at business. Who has that in that context? Matt Bassett. And if anybody else, just put in the chat box, you say, I do.
Okay, so I have a real estate agent, and she's a big team. She's one of the top agents in our market that I've worked with for 7 years now. And so we've done a lot of lead generation. So, I'm investing probably $2,500 a month into co-marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a while back when she had like another team that was kind of out of Portland that was helping also do some different lead gen with them. And I'm just like, back then I was after this is probably 2-3 years ago, I'm like, I don't want to share. Like if I'm your guy, I want to be your guy. I'm going to come to your meetings and do the whole thing. Well, like this last weekend, I'm looking on Zillow and I see her place, and we had already talked her own strategy come on the market. And I just scrolled down because usually, it's like I'll show up as the preferred lender. And there was another lender that showed up as a preferred lender. And I was able to then backtrack and figure out there's another gal in our market that's on there. So again, having this mentality of like serving without expectation of an outcome, that's fine. But when I'm paying $2,500 a month to like be this person, we've already kind of had that conversation. She did it surreptitiously without me knowing it. And I know she's going to tell me like, well, I don't want you to spend more money, so I got this other person to help cover this other part of the budget. But she didn't talk to me about it first.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like, on the other side, like, it's still, my ROI with that office is still good-ish, not as good as it used to.
Well, let's work it. Yeah, let's do it, because that's where I was going to go. So what is it?
It's like 4-to-1, but granted, that's like gross dollars to net dollars, right? So it's like
let's do it. So you're down 30,000 a year. What's your net on that? So you're outlaying.
Yeah, I made like, I think it was like $85,000 in revenue came in to the branch based on that office last year, and I spent what, 30.
Okay, so 55K, and then what do you think net is on that though? Were you doing them? Did you have loan officers doing them?
I'm doing them. My team does it, but I mean, obviously, I pay a lot of money for my operations because I don't.
Right.
I want to do the parts of the job I like to do.
Yeah.
So it does. I think, and maybe it's a little bit more than that, because I remember it was like 4-to-1 on what I spend to what actually gross comes in. So if I'm spending 30, maybe it was 120 actually that came in.
Okay.
Like a month and a half ago, but it's been going down. The people on her team that were referring the best, like they've churned, like they've moved on or they've been fired. And so she has some okay people on her team now, but they're not the ones really referring. And then she brings on this other person. And now it's like, that used to be a bigger portion of my volume of my desk came from her branch. And now it's like everything else I've done with like your systems, it's not as big of a piece of the pie from the branch. And part of me like, I don't spend this money on anybody else. Do I just say, you know what? I don't want to spend the money. I still want to work with you and serve you if that's, the thing. But if you're, if I'm not your guy, like, I'm going to cut the budget. I don't need that budget anymore to be spent. It still works, still has ROI, or at least it has to this point. But I don't love the idea of spending a mortgage payment on a company that's not like, I'm not their only, like, their guy,
Yeah, so you have to take the emotion out of it a little bit. You get like, it's not a cost, it's an investment. So then it's just like, so then you just get totally unemotional about it. You say, hey, do you want to continue in on this investment as it is? So let's take all emotion out first. Do you want to continue right now? Is it a good investment for your business?
It has been.
Okay.
It was through 2017.
Do you want to give it 3 more months to see?
I probably should.
Okay. I think that's probably what I would counsel you is say, hey, why don't you set a firm like July 1st, June 1st, something like that, where you see, so that you have hard numbers.
And do I tell her that's the case, or am I just doing that on the backside?
Well, that's a question for you to answer for yourself. Okay. You have some resentment in there. So
yeah,
you're also you're resentful.
Just a little bit. Yeah. I mean, only because I'm spending money, right? Because
you don't have to justify it. I get it. Right. But you do have resentment. So it's not a straight, just an ROI equation. Now you have relationship resentment in there too. Like somebody broke the agreement. Like, did you have a lock, stock, and barrel agreement with that person that you were the only person? Right. And this goes for all of you guys. I want you guys to hear this because, and this goes for relationships. This goes for everything. So I want everybody to hear this point. Like Matt's giving a very isolated example right here. But what happens to every single person, if you don't have tight agreements with somebody in the beginning, then them doing something that violates your made up agreements in your head that might have not been lock, stock, and barrel, then tends to make us resentful. And you see this a lot this happens a lot in marriage relationships. This happens a lot in other relationships in there. And the way to get out of that is not to go backwards, but to go forwards, Matt. So what I would counsel you to do is have like numbers. Right now, it is a good thing. You're forecasting it might not be a good thing. I would probably say, why don't you wait 3 months and see? So now you have hard numbers, and then you can go back and reset an agreement with this person, a tighter agreement. So here's the deal: my ROI on this, is $7,000 a month, and I just want to let you know that my business going forward, we're really building organic business that's working really, really well. That's more relationship referral business. So for me to be in any kind of paying or ROI type equation, I need it to be at $20,000 a month if I'm spending $2,500 to do that. Is that something that you think can happen or not? Cool. Then that would equate to 42 deals a year. So if I'm getting 42 plus from this and I'm cool going on with this, can we have an agreement around that? If not, sounds like you have somebody else, I'd probably counsel you to use that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So mess around with that, but it is go down to agreements, right? And then somebody violates an agreement. You guys, here's something. Let me talk to Matt in this example, but this happens to every single one of you. I guarantee it. Somebody violates your agreement. Then the trick is to not be emotional around that, but just to end the relationship, because you're playing from a place of abundance and you're saying, I need to be in relationships with people that respect the boundaries that I set up. If you notice in the beginning, right? Like with you guys, I do it every single call. Did you see that I said, let's start with agreements? And if you guys come to live events, that's how I start every single one. So if people don't adhere to those agreements that I set out in the beginning, then, I'll say, hey, listen, this isn't going to work. This coaching isn't going to work for you. It's like this has to happen for this to happen. I've been doing this a long time and these are the agreements. And if they're not good for you, then let's part as friends. I'm non-emotional about it. But you can't create these great businesses and have fun in your life unless you get better at setting agreements. That's another thing we're going to talk about in San Diego too, Matt, too. So setting agreements with your employees, setting agreements with your referral partners. So, it needs to be a really tight written agreement that both parties understand. And if somebody's not, if you stop paying, right, then she has every right to fire you.
Yeah, which I'm okay with, I think, too.
So it might be done already, but but you're in a resentment period.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can be a little harder on you because I know you a little bit better. So if this is somebody that I didn't know as well, I'd probably end right now. But for you right now, Matt, I want to encourage you to say, I made a mistake by not having a tight agreement. I'm not going to be resentful on this person anymore. And I either have a choice. I can go forward in 3 months, or I can say this person violated that agreement by adding somebody else in here. I'm out of the relationship. But I want you to step out of resentment. Is that fair?
Yep. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel better just that shift. That's great.
Cool. Hey, John, I don't want to get into anything pricing related because then that can bring up to a whole, then everybody's comparing rates and then people start hating their companies and it gets bad and all that stuff. So I want to stick to just very general, that would apply to anybody industry wide. So does anybody else, Matt Newman, you want to unmute yourself? You said I needed to hear this. What was your situation that it was?
I'm finding myself in resentment over weak agreements I've been giving out. So last year I had a bad experience. I gave a particular agent 8 referrals. We have not closed one deal together that she's given me. Mm-hmm. So I found another partner to give some deals to. I gave him 2 so far. We had a pretty good agreement. Mm-hmm. And then last week in a social setting, he says, well, I've got to spread the love around to my next deal's got to go to the other lender.
Yep.
So I've been feeling resentment, but it's really a lack of a tight agreement.
Yep. So you want me to tell you how I'd do it if you were my realtor in situation? Yeah. So if I was in a relationship, this is how I'd say it to you, Matt, is I'd say, hey, so listen, I have one spot on my team for somebody else, a realtor. I get a lot of deals because I'm a former realtor and I do a marketing system that gets a lot of people.
Right.
As you know, realtors make about 3 times the amount on a transaction than a lender does on a transaction. So what I'm looking for in a realtor is that I'm their exclusive lender.
Right.
Is that something that you're interested in? And then I shut up.
So a lot of them say no, is what I'm finding. A lot of the agents that I know, they have all these other, things they justify in their head as to why exclusivity is bad.
Yep.
And now as a realtor, I was all about the exclusive relationship. I valued that. I leveraged it. Mm-hmm. So I assumed other agents would be the same, but it's just not working out that way.
You want me to help you out?
Yeah.
So you're too new yet for it to make that kind of general statement. So when you're new, you don't even realize it yet, Matt, but you're new, you're still playing from scarcity. You're not in pure abundance yet.
Sure. Yeah.
And so you're still playing from scarcity. They're picking that up. And when you are in any kind of scarcity, I want you to come to a live event so you get, like, I break it down into levels so that you get it. If you're under a certain level, another human being picks it up and says, I don't need to do that with them. And then they start breaking the agreements. What I can tell you is you will have a path beaten down to your door in a couple of years for people that want that agreement. Because a great agent is not getting one deal from their lender right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're angry about it.
Right.
You were a realtor, you probably were angry about it. Were you ever angry about it?
Oh yeah.
Of course, right? Right. So, and you were a great realtor. So you were a great realtor. You were probably angry about it, and you're looking for other people like you. You just haven't found somebody like you yet. And so that's why you have to keep doing this. You have to get more leads. You have to be consistent.
Right.
You have to not be attached to the outcome. It's it's so funny. I actually know your wife. She's a great person. I know, like I went to middle school with Matt Newman's wife, and I was friends with his wife. And so, but it's the same thing. Like, I'm going to assume that you didn't put out a vibe at some point and you just met Jennifer. You guys have the same last name? Is that right? Oh, but so did you guys, you didn't put out one thing and just find her, right? Like, when we're dating, right? We all know this in dating. We were we dated people. We put out vibes. And so it'd be the same thing as, Matt, if you said to me, hey, all women are just awful. Dude, you haven't talked to enough women yet. Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all that you're saying right now. And you're 6 months into the business and you're going, all realtors or all women or all anything. And I'm like, no, you just haven't found them yet. There's amazing realtors out there that are dying for the relationship, literally dying for it.
Well, one thing that came out of my call last week with Dan was that I wasn't getting enough engagement on some of my posts. Mm-hmm. And basically, when we discussed kind of ranking our social media, and I don't know if it was you or Dan that said 2 or 3% of our friends will actually see our posts.
It's about 3.
That was a big aha for me. So in the last week, I've added 150 new friends that are realtors in my market. And what I've noticed, they're all accepting my friendship, but now I'm starting to get 4 or 5 a day that they're coming to me.
Yep.
Agents I don't know, but they see we've got mutual friends or whatever. So I'm really focused on kind of casting a wider net.
Yes, that's the right place to be. And if you notice, I don't know if you guys saw the post that I just wrote this week, that post is branding you as an expert, because what every agent wants is they want a lender that will call the listing agent, right? But did you see that I'm not saying, hey, agent, what you really want is you really need an agent, right? I'm not talking like that. I'm talking to the borrower, because then they're like, dude, that's right. So that, one of the secrets to our system is I'm writing stuff that agents and financial planners and other people will go, that's true. And then they go like this, wait, Matt actually will call a listing agent and help get the contract done. Do you see how we're branding this and over time in there? And so that's how it happens. And again, that's why I feel so grateful for a Jenny and an Eric, because I had them yesterday in coaching, and they're like this, my God, dude, I have so much business. It's, but they've been doing it faithfully for a little bit, right? You know what I mean? And so it took you, I'm going to assume, some time to meet Jennifer, and it's the same thing with great agents. You have to let this process play out.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yeah, very fair.
Cool. Anybody else? I'm at 52, so I am going to keep my agreement with you guys. So listen, you guys, this was really, really good. I'm super proud of you guys. You guys have a great energy right now. I see major shifts in you. So great job. Keep it up. We'll talk to you soon. You guys have a fantastic day. Bye-bye. All right, guys, let's do this. So let's get present right now to this moment. So I want everybody, as long as you're not driving, as long as you're safe somewhere, to close your eyes and start focusing in on your breath. In, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Out, 2, 3. Do that rhythm for the next 30 seconds. Take your awareness to your abdomen, and I want you breathing in your abdomen. This is not a chest breath. This is an abdomen going in and out. I want you to answer this question in the chat box for me. What's the experience of you right now? What does it feel like to be you right now? Are you stressed? Are you anxious? Are you happy? Are you joyful? Are you excited? Are you angry? What's the experience of being you? Put it in the chat box. For anybody that's feeling, most of you, I've always been to a live event, but most of you guys in here, I'm looking around here, have not been to a live event yet. I encourage you guys to go, but if you're experiencing anything on the negative, what we call a negative vibration, I want you to switch it up right now into positive. So answer this question for me. What are you grateful for right now in your life? Are you grateful that we live in a free country? Are you grateful that you're breathing right now? Are you grateful that you have a job that has unlimited potential? Are you grateful that you have the flexibility to create the business of your dreams? Are you excited that you get to serve people and you get to make amazing money in the same process as serving? Are you excited that you've finally taken the reins over and you are going to take control of your life, and that you are going to be intentional for every area of your life right now so that you live at level 10 in every area of your life? What are you grateful for right now? There you go. So for any of the people that had anything negative, I heard somebody said disarray and the other one overwhelmed, concerned, exhausting. I heard some of those in the beginning. Anybody that had those, I want you to understand that you have the power always to shift your energy by becoming grateful for whatever you want in your life. And what I will tell you is, now this is, especially for you new people, will be like, what is this dude talking about? But hang with me. What I will tell you is that all good things in your life come from a positive vibration. This job becomes really easy when you are in a grateful sense and you're happy and you're motivated. This job is the hardest job in the world if you're in a negative place, if you're critical, if you're down, if you're overwhelmed, if you're exhausted. This is not a good job if you're in that place. Now, no job is good if you're in that place, but I want you guys to be aware that a lot of you guys are new right now in this. The stuff we do in here is the coolest, most cutting edge. Guys, there is no level that you can't achieve by doing our system. But I will tell you this, the only person that will hold you back is you. And if you are in any kind of negative place or anything like this, there's no amount of coaching that we can do to help you guys pass that. That's something that we have to rely on you as well, that you guys invest in attracting business. It is so easy when you are happy and grateful. People want to be around you, and then they want to do business with you. That is the truth. If people don't want to be around you, there's no amount of business. There's no amount of lead gen that you can do. Is that fair for everybody? I see everybody up here. So either shake their head yes or no. Do you guys believe me when I say that you have the power to feel, and that it's in your ability to feel a certain way? And it's something that I am requesting from each and every one of you, because the first level 1 for us, is marketing and mindset. And if you guys can get both of these, you guys move to level 2, which once you do this system enough, you will see the power of it. And the next problem you're going to have is, dude, how do I deal with all this business? And I want to tell all you guys, like, this is the truth about this business. There's 2 aspects to it. It's fulfillment and sales and marketing. Your job is fulfillment right now. Your business is sales and marketing. Okay. You can systemize fulfillment. You can systemize doing the loan, and you can hire people to that. You do never want to give up sales and marketing. Okay. So once you guys get this stuff, and then we start moving people to level 2, because then it's okay, systemize the fulfillment. We have what I did. We have the top people in the nation right now, their fulfillment systems. So you can walk right into that. What is my fulfillment? But you can't get there until you've gotten the sales and marketing and the mindset part. It can't happen. So everything that we set up is in steps. And once you get to fulfillment, and you have a systemized fulfillment system for your loans, you stay in sales and marketing. And our level 3 is when we say, okay, cool, we'll do it for you then. We'll run ads. We'll do it. We'll do the whole thing for you. We'll blow it out. We can get people to 50 loans a month. But I can't get anybody to 50 loans a month until they understand that their job's sales and marketing, and they start doing it, and they're getting the reps, and they're using our voice, right? So that Thursday post you might look at and be like, dude, that's not how I talk. Well, I'm telling you, that is how to talk in marketing and sales. So that's what you're learning, is talking like that. Doing videos, right? We can't do marketing for you in level 3 until you're comfortable on video. You have to own smiling on video. You have to own looking into a camera and speaking. You have to own not saying so many words. You have to own getting right to the point. You have to own that, right? And that takes time. And that's what we're watching. And that's what level 1 is, to help you guys get through that stuff, right? So that you can get on, you can smile, because people aren't really listening to what you say. Ready for this? I want you guys to hear this. They're not listening to what you say on video. They're not. This is what they're doing. They're paying attention to the way that you make them feel. Does that make sense, everybody? So when people are starting out, we have some new people in here. They're like trying to get every word right. And they're like, if you buy this house right now, I will give you, and they're going, dude, who is that person right now? But when you can look into the camera and you can smile and you can say, hey guys, it has been an absolute awesome opportunity getting to serve you, right? Like all they get is, I'm feeling good, and they remember how they feel in your presence. Amber, yours was freaking awesome yesterday, right? That was awesome. And you know why? Because you made people smile. That's why. If you,
the rest of it, buddy.
What'd you say?
I said, wait till you see the rest of the video, actually, because I shot video all afternoon. You're going to be proud.
I mean, but you didn't own that when you first come in. So you guys might even be looking at, right? Amber's been in almost a year. You're probably right at around a year, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I spent 2 years fighting video. I was mortified by the thought of video.
And I'm saying this with all due respect. I'd say it if he was on the phone. A lot of people come in and they go, Eric Zanatelli, Eric Zanatelli. And I'm like, he was god awful in the beginning. And all you need to do is go to the Facebook group, put Eric Zanatelli in, go back to 15 when he started with us. And he used to do videos 46 times and he would put it in there and I go, nope. And then he'd do it. And he got it, but then he got it. And then it's just amazing because now I have him and he's starting to transfer into our level 3. And like, I'm not kidding. I don't want to say his numbers, but it's insane. Right. But you guys have to get these steps. So what I want to start out with today is for anybody that's doing the Win the Day system right now, speak to the people that what are the benefits that you see in it? What are the results that you're seeing in it? What are the changes that you're seeing in your life? Because the truth is we have some people on this call that are still resisting doing Win the Day, and that's fine. We're here to coach and we're here to help you guys get to these points. But what I've noticed is I can sit up here and yap for freaking hours and people are like, dude, I'm sick of that guy. What works a lot better is you guys helping each other and listening to each other because then you know it's real. You know, everybody has a little bit of like, is he trying to sell me on something? And I get it, right? I totally get it. So anybody, if you can in the chat box, if you're doing the system right now, you're doing the Win the Day challenge, what are some of the results or what are some of the benefits or what are some of the changes that you're seeing in your business so that you can motivate others in there? So if you can just put in the chat box, call on me, Deryck, or hey, I got something to share, I would greatly appreciate that because we have some people on here that are new. We have some people on here that are resisting doing it. And I'd love to hear from some people that are doing it in there. So what are some of the benefits? So Amber, I always appreciate you. I know I can always go to you early and often. I appreciate that. So Amber, you want to share? And then I'd love to have a list of anybody that's in here. Go ahead, Amber.
I think what probably surprises me the most about winning my days is how I perceive myself. So it's not even so much, I mean, I like this morning, I mean, I was up at 5 o'clock. I was in my office by 7:30. I'm excited. I'm happy, you know, and that hasn't always been that way. You know, there's been days where it's like pulling teeth to come to the office. So I think the biggest change for me is just feeling more confident that I can trust myself.
Awesome. That's a great share. And I have seen ginormous changes in you too. So great job. Kim Seacrest. Oh, wow. I just read Kim's. I want you to share that. You having problems with mute? Let me see. I'll try to unmute.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good now. That's okay.
My sound is really off.
That's okay.
So when I came to Elevate, I was, and those of you that were at Elevate, it was just kind of like just a really bad time for me. So I really put my mind towards committing to this for the 90 days. And it has just been incredible for me because by, you know, I say I'll win the day by 10:30, but really by 8:39, I just feel so much more accomplished than I have since I started the system in August. So, you know, I have a lot of goals that I have that I'm trying to achieve, and they're just incredible. You know, it's just, I can't even describe it. I just have a whole renewed mindset and a whole motivation that wasn't there before. So.
Awesome. Well, share your detail, the detail that you put in there.
So my win the day was, you know, over the course of the year, I've put on about 50 pounds. And so I'm trying to get that off. And so far I'm down 20 of it. So I'm really excited about that.
In 45 days, you're down 20 pounds?
I am.
Wow.
And I have Anne Marie in our group to thank for that because she's really helped me. She's become like a really cool accountability partner with me.
Awesome.
I also have become accountability partners with Jane Estes and Jenny Stoner. So every morning when we're done winning our day, not only do we post it on the group, but we text each other and we're like, we did it, or we just encourage each other. Sometimes we're,
awesome.
It's slow.
Oh, that's such a good point, guys, too.
Yeah.
And you know what? Use the small groups that you're in, or use some of these people right now. If you're having trouble and you want some buddies, accountability partners are everything too. So anybody that's struggling with any of this stuff, it's also another, like, definitely come to live events. We do them twice a year for the new people. You get to meet people, and then everybody's doing the same stuff, and getting to do it with other people is so much better than trying to do something by yourself, right? So it's just so much better. So great job. That's super cool. I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm super excited. So
great job. So Abby's brand new. So let's hear her in her 5 days in the program so far. What are your, what are you seeing?
Yeah, I have been completely new at this, but I've already seen the change. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I'm already able to homeschool my son. Wow. And I was so overwhelmed, especially last week. I was so overwhelmed, and now everything is flowing. And also just the fact that during that hour, I do not answer texts or calls or anything, just concentrate without interruption on my work. And it makes your day so much more productive, because then you come back, it's like, okay, finish what you're doing. And when you're done, then you come back and start seeing the text and all of that and responding. And none of it was earth shattering that you had to respond.
Never it is. But they act like it, and that's okay, right? They're very anxious. So a realtor's anxious. They're just, this is how they're paying their mortgage for the next 2 months. That's the truth, guys. That's why they're that anxious with you. They're not bad people. They're just people. And a borrower or your processor or your manager, they're anxious, right? And one of the shifts of you guys getting to top producers is, hey, you know what? I don't need to take on their anxiety. I just don't. I'm going to be intentional in my day, and I'm going to be aware of the way that I feel throughout the day. And this is when I have time to do this. And somebody else's anxiety or sense of urgency is not mine. Guys, this is something that you all have to get in order to get to the next levels. Okay. Usually, loan officer draws in caring people. You guys are great people. You want to serve, you want to help people, but we tend to not be that good at setting boundaries, because we get scarce and we think like this is our last deal. Or if I don't get this one realtor, if I don't answer this phone at this time when she wants me to, she's never going to use me again. Right. Like those are all like symptomatics of having a scarcity mindset. Having an abundant mindset is, hey, you know what? I know how to win my day. I know how to create leads. I know how to create business in my life. I feel very confident in that. And I have the habits now built in so that I can do this. This is when I work, and this is what I do here. And I feel great about it. And if that doesn't work for you, I honor and bless you. Maybe we're not a fit. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear that dialogue right there? Did that make anybody want to throw up? That dialogue. Okay, cool. That was a great share right there. So anything else, Abby? You feel good? Okay, cool. So guys, we're at 2:21 Eastern Standard Time. I want everybody to make an agreement with yourself right now, because we're going to make an agreement, and we are going to learn boundaries right now as we do right here. So I can go to 2:50. That's 29 minutes right now. We have 29 minutes left, and I'm going to go around the room and ask for challenges. Do you have the time to be present for that call? If you don't, make an agreement with yourself and say, hey, listen, bro, I'm getting beat up on this. I just got an email saying that pricing has decreased by a quarter in pricing, and I got to go, right? That's fine. Or I got a closing right now. That's fine. But what I want you guys to get right now is learning how to set agreements so that you can give your attention to things, because we're going to go around the room in challenges. I'm not going to answer all of them. And I might call on you to help you answer somebody else's challenge. So you're making an agreement, if you stay on this call, that you're present and that you're open to hearing this person's challenging and doing your best to answer. Because here's the truth, guys. You cannot coach somebody or help somebody out without it wearing off on you and you getting better. That's the truth. Okay, so what kind of time do you have right now to be completely present on this call? If you got to go, you got to do something else, I honor and respect that. Just make that an agreement. But if you stay on right here for the next 29 minutes, what you're agreeing to is you're agreeing to that I'm going to be present, I'm going to listen, and I'm open if Deryck calls on me to help answer this other question, because I know that by helping others or by coaching others, I'm improving myself as well. So that's the agreement. You guys make that agreement, and I will honor whatever you say, but I will hold you accountable that if you say you're going to be on and you're not paying attention, then I'm going to call you out on it. That's my agreement to you. But if you are on, or if you say, hey, I can't be on, I can't be present, I honor that too. So everybody make an agreement so we can bust these out. Put it into the chat box. Do you have time? And if you only have 13 minutes, put 13 minutes. It's great. This is how I want you guys talking to your realtors down the road too. I want you guys learning how to set tight agreements with everybody, with your team, right, Amber? Right, with your team. These are the conversations to have up front with team members. These are the conversations to have up front with future referral partners. Awesome. Let's do this then. So everybody in the chat box, what's the challenge that you have right now? And I want you to answer this question like this. Hey, Deryck, I want some support around this challenge. I have this challenge in my life and business right now. And I'm excited about this challenge because I know that by overcoming challenges, I'm growing as a person. I'm growing my business. So this is a challenge that I want some support around. And I'm excited about it. It is not a problem. It's not like this, Deryck, I've got a problem. No, you don't. No, you don't. You got a challenge that you get the opportunity to overcome. Does that make sense for everybody? Cool. So what challenge do you have right now that either I or the rest of the group can offer some support for you around? You guys put in a box, and then when you go in there, then I will call on you. And then if you guys can just put in there and we can get a little list of people so I can go right to it. So Seth, unmute yourself and ask your question, ask your challenge.
My biggest thing that I'm looking to do is attract the right business and the right realtor partners. And what I mean by right business, I guess, is people that are like-minded with me, that we're not battling through the transaction, and that they understand who I am and what I bring to the table, and that they respect my time and the boundaries.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing this business?
I am just coming up on finishing my 3rd year in the business.
Okay. How long have you been doing this business well?
I honestly would say I've been doing the business well for 2 years.
Okay. So what's holding you back right now from having that conversation with people up front? Like how I just have agreements, how I just did agreements with you guys. Hey, this is how we do it here at the Seth Bennett Mortgage Company. This is what we do. We do this right here. These are the time frames that we do this. This is when I'm available to you. And this is when I can react and I can help you out with that. Is that fair? What holds you back from doing that?
I don't do it as firmly as that. I try to set boundaries. My biggest problem is I probably am the one that's not, like, someone will reach out to me outside those timeframes or boundaries, and then I give into it. Like the realtor calls or the borrower calls or they text me and I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll respond. And I really don't want to.
Great. This is an awesome question. Ready? I'm going around. I'm going to call on Amber first because we've had this conversation, but I'm going to call on somebody else randomly right after this. So Amber, you go. Let's see. I want you guys to answer this. This is a great question.
Well, it's fear-based.
See, she's been doing this too long. I shouldn't have gone to you first.
So anytime we have scarcity, we don't honor our own boundaries because we're so fearful that that's our last deal, that they're not going to use us or somebody else is going to take their call, so it's always fear-based.
Yeah. So the question back to you, Seth, is what's the fear behind that? Why, what is the fear that gets you to answer that question, to do that?
I mean, scarcity probably plays into it somewhat, and I know that shouldn't be it. I think part of it is, like, I have this super high standard of, like, I feel like that I'm being the best service provider to them if I answer when they are available.
Are you married?
I am married, yeah.
Do you have kids?
I do.
How old?
2, and another one due in a month and a half.
Is it just as important to you to be a great husband and a father?
Well, that's more important.
Okay, cool. Because that's really the key, right? So if you turn yourself into, if you don't keep that as a priority, 2 and 1, you might get away with it a little bit right now. But if you don't set that habit and really carve away the time that's, I'm here for my family during this time. I coach football at this time. I do this with my family. I'm off on the weekends. If you don't carve that time out and make that a boundary, a firm boundary, then somebody in your life is going to be resentful that they're not getting the most of you. So if you are just 100% business guy, and I want to be the best in business and I want to do all this and I'm going to answer everybody's question when they want it, you're creating a dependent relationship with your clients that's not good. It is okay to set boundaries with people. And I'll tell you this, Seth, and I know that you're a coach too. So it's like everybody wants to be led. So you can say, I want to let you know I am available for you during these hours. This is when I do this, but I also want to let you know that I'm a family man. And my family is the most important. That's why I do this job. So I'm completely off during these times. Is that okay with you? You have to get that at the end, that question. And then if it's not okay, have a conversation with them about it. Well, no, but I really need a lender that answers the phone on Sunday mornings. I'm not going to be a fit for you. And that's leadership. That's not lack of anything. That's leadership. It can happen. I promise you that. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Kristen, do you want to ask your question?
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I think for me, the challenge is just that I basically really have 1 month of experience at this point.
Are you brand new?
So, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I had started at a different mortgage company, but there wasn't any like onboarding or training or anything like that. So basically, I'm just brand new at this new company that I switched to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess for me, the challenge is I don't even really know where to start. It's like, okay, I'm just kind of like looking for I felt like before I was just kind of, okay, let me just do this because it's going to help me for this month, but I need something that's going to be consistent and something that is going to be more long-term instead of just help me get through this week, you know? So I guess for me, I don't even start.
No, I was going to say, do you have good support at your company? Do you have somebody that can help you? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I want you to do is the biggest challenge, and this goes for anybody that's new, and even if you're older in the business, it's the same thing. Confidence is your number one thing. So what holds people back in the beginning is they don't have the confidence to go out and get to speak from a confident place, right? So what I want you to do is channel your company and whoever you're helping and sell that in your mind. That person's the best in the entire state of where are you from?
Nevada.
I work with the best company and the best loan officer in all the state of Nevada. We can absolutely get anything that you want done, right? Like you need to borrow that confidence. And then what I want you to do in our system is you probably don't have a pipeline yet. So you're like, listen, watching Monday and you're going, dude, that doesn't help me. It will help you. Tuesday, I want you to shift on Tuesday to sending a video to every single person you know. So take, the proverbial, who you would invite to your wedding. Right? Like say, take your top 150 advocates that you know, send in every video, letting them know that you've just joined the best mortgage company in the entire state of Nevada. And you are there as their lender for life to answer any question that they might have on their mortgage. I want you to do 20 of those. Okay. I want you to do those on Monday and I want you to do those on Tuesday. And then follow our system to a T on Wednesday and Thursday. And I'll make you this promise within 120 days, you're going to start having a good pipeline. Did you just hear what I said though?
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said? Don't miss the part about 120. Did you hear 120?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to have that expectation because so many new people sabotage themselves with like, I'm new and I don't have a deal and that stinks. Right. The other thing that I want you to do is once you're done with those activities, I want you to sit in with whoever this great person is at your company. And I want you asking as many questions as you can to learn as much as you can about the business. Do that
Okay.
for 120 days. I promise you, kiddo, you'll kill it. Okay. 20.
Okay.
So, and on Tuesday, you're going to hear me say 5. You do 20 a week.
Okay.
Did you get that dialogue?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm
cool.
writing
And this
down.
is recorded. And so you can ask Hillary back for,
Oh,
you can say, hey, can I hear that dialogue again? Is that fair?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Next, who has another question? Pilgrim Mortgage, I don't know who that is. So it's probably language to realtors. Who's Pilgrim Mortgage?
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know it's me.
I didn't realize. I just looked over here. So.
Yeah. So my language to my realtors. I'm trying to just be me. I don't really. I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. And
Okay.
so sometimes I think that I also struggle with. And you said this earlier. There's a reason why we say the things we say on our videos on Thursdays.
Uh-huh.
And I struggle with that because that's not the way I talk. So.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you said I have trouble with that because that's not the way I talk?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to challenge you to talk better.
You know
and I'm saying that because I like.
You're always so hard on me. He always comes like this on me. So
because I'm a coach, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, look, the truth is, like, right? I'm a coach, so it's. I'm not going to enable you for that.
No, I get it.
Because let me just tell you what's going on. So take that Thursday post if you guys haven't looked at it. I'm showing you guys how to talk to your how to talk to your network. But guess what's happening? Is all the realtors in your network are seeing you set expectations that are awesome with your borrowers. And you know what your realtors are saying? That's a freaking good lender. I want to work with that person. And so you have to adopt this language in there because a lot of these people are new on this thing. But I'll tell you, the people that have been in the system, I had them in the last class. It's astonishing what happens over time. And I'll tell you this, they all say it like this. And this goes for all of you guys. Realtors are reaching out to me. Okay, so they see you do a post like this, and you know what happens? Look at the language. The listing agent, or the buyer's agent right there goes, wait, he just told a borrower that he'd make a call on my behalf to the listing agent? That absolutely would go far for me if I was a listing agent. If a lender made a call on the behalf and said the finances are good, we're totally good, we can close in 22 days if you need to. Like, that goes really, really well with a listing agent. Okay, and he just told his borrowers that. I want to work with a freaking lender that does that. And trick. So if you skip and you don't do weeks and you stop doing this and you say, hey, listen, that's not my language, I don't talk like this, then I'm saying, I'm just shooting you straight, dude. You're not going to be successful. I'm just shooting you straight. Like, there's a lot, I don't know with you specifically, Archie, but there's a lot of people that go, hey, that makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't get it. And I'm going, that's fine. I'm highly trained in marketing and sales. And I think I was telling you guys this before. Loan officers historically are not. They're good at getting loans done, right? Fulfillment, but that's the wrong way to play the game. Okay, because you can systemize and hire fulfillment. You cannot give up sales and marketing. You have to get better at sales and marketing. That's what you get paid for. That's why that you're not going to be a commodity. That's why Quicken's not going to win. That's why online lenders are not going to win. That's why a bot's not going to win. You guys, I want you guys to hear this. You are getting paid for sales and marketing. You are not getting paid for fulfillment. Fulfillment's just something that you do, part of the job. But someday a robot can do fulfillment. I'm shooting you straight, right? They cannot do sales and marketing. They do not have empathy. They don't understand language. They don't do this. So when you guys take yourself out 10 years and you go, who's the loan officers that are going to be successful in 10 years? Who are the ones? It's the ones that are excellent at sales and marketing, that are impeccable with their language, that understand the different channels to get borrowers, to get touches in over and over. And for people to see this, and there's a stacking effect to this, which means they see you on Facebook, they see you on Instagram, they see you on email, they see you in a group, they see you on LinkedIn, they see you talking to somebody else on here, and you go to church on Sunday and they're like, hey man, you know what? My sister needs a loan. That's how it happens. That's how this system happens, right? And if you ask anybody that's super successful with it, there's a stacking effect to it. So you can't miss days, and you can't look at days like dude, I did the Wednesday thing and I didn't get any realtors and you suck. Like, that's not the right way. This is athletics. This is putting in the time. This is putting the work in so that you have a compounding business over time. And you have these amazing businesses that then you create fulfillment systems. And that's the secret. That's what top producers, you can go get around top producers and they don't want to really tell you what the truth is, right? Like, they don't want people to know. They'll stand up at big events and they'll say things like, hey, I'm awesome. Hey, I'm awesome. The reason I'm successful is I'm awesome. That's basically what a lot of these things are. That's not the truth. The reason they're successful is they're good at sales and marketing and they created fulfillment systems. That's the truth. And so I was one of them, and I sat there and I knew what these guys did, and I'd be speaking at these events. Seth was just at one of them, and I know not yours, Seth, but like other events, like I knew these people and I knew what they did, and then I'd listen to them speak and they'd say how awesome they were, and I'm like, dude, that's not what you do. I know what you do. There's an absolute system to it. It's not that you're awesome. I'm not saying that you're not awesome. I'm just saying that's not the whole thing. There's systems to it. Like, there is an absolute way for people to be awesome. And that's what we're teaching you here. And you need to do it, Archie. And it's because I love you that I'm telling you that.
All right.
You got it?
I got it, sir.
Cool, man. Amber wants to ask him a question. Yeah.
You know what I heard, Archie, whenever you were talking? It sounded like me whenever I first got in this business. And I think some of it was I wanted to project this image of who I was. And I didn't really want a whole lot of other people's influence. I was like, I'm going to be me. I'm going to be Amber. And Amber does it this way, right? But it wasn't very successful for me. And it took like 5 years of humbling to go, dude, I'm sucking at this. I need somebody that can give me an outside perspective of where I need to grow. So I would just encourage you to kind of ask yourself those questions. What is it that you're kind of hiding behind?
Oh, see, Amber's been at every live event in here. She knows.
But what insecurities are there? Because I look back and there was so many insecurities in that I didn't realize who I was or what I offered or what I brought to the table. So I don't know you, but when you said that, I heard myself almost 15 years ago going, this is Amber, and she doesn't do it that way. And it didn't work out very good for Amber.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You asked to say something, Seth, to her? Did you want to say something, Seth?
No, I was just saying, when I read some of the verbiage, I said the same thing. I'm like, oh, this isn't me. But then again, I've come to the realization I'm not a sales and marketing expert, and I need to do it. I mean, and I see other successful people out there, and they're doing similar types. I mean, it's not rocket science, so to speak. And I'm right there with you. I'm like football coach type A guy, and sales and marketing and that kind of don't jive.
Touchy feely, right? That's
right. No, but
my alley.
No, you're right, Deryck. But I'm getting over that. I'm like, I'm over it. So.
Upper level sales and marketing, for all the people that liked, if you want me to get any background onto it, is you just have to enter into the conversation that somebody else is already having in their head. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You do not get what the mistake that everybody's making is, and Amber, you said it so humbly, is what I think's right, and I think that everybody cares about my opinion. But nobody cares. They don't care. They don't care. They don't. They do not care. In the way that you can answer this is just go into your own mind. What do you care about? Who are the people that you like on social? Who are the people that you like? It's the people that are having conversations about things that you care about, which is the conversation in your head. So the post that I just wrote right now, it's not for the borrowers. It's not for your network. It's for the agent that is frustrated with their freaking buyer that didn't get a pre-approval beforehand, and they just lost their 17th offer on a deal. Now they're looking through there and they're like, man, these people, and then they look through this and you're telling the borrower, hey, listen, come to me quick. I'll make a call on your behalf. And they just go, my goodness, that's exactly what I was just thinking about. And I'm not saying that'll happen to every single one of you on these particular ones, because here's the truth that I want you guys to hear too. It takes time. Only 3% of your network's going to see it. So you need to have 2,000 friends. Okay. And then you go, oh my God, dude, I have like 300. Okay. Get better. Keep adding more friends. Okay. Create groups. We're going to talk about that in there so that people see this stuff. Use email. You guys are paying for freaking email CRM systems that are just holding your email addresses when you're not doing anything with them. They're just a really expensive way to put your email addresses. Export all of them to CSV and put them on your computer. If you're like this is the stuff that your email wants to get. I know your companies are going, just email out these newsletters. I promise that'll give you a touch. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It goes to spam and they stop following you. Like this is the stuff that they want to see on email too. So do it to email, do it to Messenger, do it to these things. Like, look, I don't hold companies responsible. They're not good at sales and marketing either. Shooting you straight. Just shooting you straight. So you guys need to, this is part of what we do in level 1 is we're teaching you guys sales and marketing too. And I know it's weird. And I know you're like, I don't talk like that. I talk about football. I get it, Archie, right? But then people look at you and want to talk about football, not about loans. See what the difference is? Like what's going on right now in our world is you have the opportunity to create this amazing brand for yourself. So how you show up is how you're branding in people's mind. And so you have to be very careful. And if you don't know how to brand yourself properly, then you hire coaches and you get sales and marketing, right? Like, which is what you're here for. And this is what level 1 is, to teach you guys that stuff. So that now you create these brands where when you walk around town, you're a local celebrity. I'm not kidding. That's what happens. But it doesn't happen immediately. Yeah. But you want, when you walk around town, that people are like this: great character, great competence. He's great at his job. He's a mortgage guy that loves his clients and he loves helping realtors and he loves helping people. And you want that brand. That takes time. Golly, that was a long rant. Sorry.
It's because it's me.
What's that? It's only because you're a great guy, and I'm just we love you, man. It's just like and I love what Amber said. Right? It's like you can see, like we want you just to get over that thing. And yes, you can like call Amber later. She's getting good at this, right? Like I into it. But there's a fear and insecurity. There's something there, right? Like, what's my college buddy gonna say that I only talk football with and I'm all tough with, right? What are they gonna make fun of you? And the answer is yes, they're gonna make fun of you. That's the truth. They are. They still make fun of me. They still make fun of me. They do. Go look through my posts. Some of my college buddies, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm branding. I'm building a business. That's what Facebook is. Call me later. We'll talk about football. I'm not doing it on Facebook though. That's public. I'm not talking about freaking politics on there. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about building a brand. And when you shift like that, and that's how you use social and you do these things, that's where you get these humongous numbers over time. Laugh at them. You know what they do? They laugh at you at first, and then over time they're like, hey, anyways, that's really cool what you do on that. That's what happens. Not kidding.
Yeah.
They all laugh at you in the beginning, though, so you have to get over that part. So it might be a fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what's somebody going to say to me. Here's something else for you, because I feel like being hard on you right now is I'm asking you not to care what people think. I really am. I'm asking you to stop, to let the bounds of what somebody else thinks about me, let that go. I just spoke the other day. That's where I met Seth in Indiana, and I went on right after Bob Knight, and my mind was like, is this dude going to be throwing chairs at me afterwards? Like, what am I going to say after Bob Knight goes, right? Like, who am I, right? I'm just some dude, right? And now he's on stage and he's going to be all angry and throwing stuff at me. And then I literally was like, okay, but I got to practice what I preach. He can hate me. I don't care. I'm just going to go out there and speak my truth. And it's like, then I meet cool people like Seth that become clients, right? But if I'm like, oh, I'm too scared to do that or anything like that, or I care what somebody thinks about me, I'm sure Seth probably knows. I'm sure there's people in the audience that were like, that dude's a big bozo. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. She looks, Seth's shaking his head. Yeah, it's true, right? Yeah, it's totally true. But if I care about that, then I can't do that. See what I mean? And that's what I want for all you guys. Stop caring what people think about you, because the people that are thinking anything poorly about you, dude, you don't want to do business with them.
Okay.
That's the truth. I don't want them as clients. I'll take cool people like Seth though. But I don't want those people. See what I mean? There's a shift there. Now we're in the Olympics. You think it's like easy, like Lindsey Vonn like balling last night, it's like, but she's balling because she got beat up on social for not coming in first, right? And she cares too much. Like I'm looking at her being like, I want to give her a hug and be like, quit caring what people think. You gave it your all. You got a freaking bronze medal. Stop caring what people think about you. Is that fair?
Fair enough.
Cool. Everybody else is like, dude, don't call me now. You're in a rare form, Deryck. Lynette.
Warrior form, huh?
What'd you say?
Warrior form.
I just get fired up, yeah.
So I will say that I was in a coaching program for 2 years and I still did not do everything coach told me to do. And I don't live in regrets, but it's as close to a regret as I can get. So I've done.
What held you back from doing it?
Same thing as what Amber and Archie said. I think it wasn't me, or sometimes it's the ego that says, oh, I can do that better. Yeah, yep. Look where it got me.
Well, I appreciate the humility, because that's ultimately what happens, is that people go like, you know what, that's dumb. He does that on Monday. I can do that on Thursday, and that's a better day. That's not the point, right? The point is to do it, right? And and I'd love to tell you that I put more science into the system than this. I'll tell you exactly how it happened. Monday was when I got to over 15 units a month. I was so busy. I didn't do Monday for marketing. I did Monday to control the calls that were coming in on status. So it's what I was just telling Seth. So it was like this. Then I shifted my language to this. What we do here at the Deryck Cheney Mortgage Company is every Monday, you're going to get a video from me that's going to tell you exactly where you are in the process. And your listing agent is going to get it, your buyer's agent is going to get it. And that's how we're going to communicate. And literally in an hour and a half, once you get to 20 units a month, it took me about an hour and a half. I could control the whole thing, and I could do volume. Now, the unintended consequence of it was it increased my business by such an amazing amount, because then they were seeing videos of me, and then the listing agents were going, dude, that's really cool. And then they were reaching out to me, and I'm like, wow, I didn't do that for marketing. I did that to handle inflow and to be more efficient. And again, on Tuesday, I was just like, here's the biggest thing. Our industry is silly. They are silly when they use this language, past clients. It's not past clients. They're future clients. Okay. These are people that have done a deal with you that are future clients. It's not past clients. And so I just looked at it like this. These are all people that know, like, and trust me already. They're going to do business with me again. I want to stay in front of them. That was it. That was the extent to what I did on Tuesday. Tuesday wasn't a magical day. It was nothing like that. This is just because these are future clients and I want to be there. The stats are that they get a mortgage every 3 to 5 years. Sweet. Well, I want all their business, because then that costs me nothing. So all these people are in marketing deals with realtors, right? And I'm like, so when a past client becomes a future client and pays $0, dude, sign me up, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's where it comes from. What's your question, Lynette?
So I just to update everybody on the call, I've been a veteran of 30 years in mortgages, and I must say that I bet I did not do very well in sales and marketing. As a matter of fact, I know I did. So I get to learn the right way, and I'm privileged to be able to do that. So cool. With that said, I attracted my perfect client, and I don't believe I had a great presentation that landed the call right then and there. So I want to perfect that sales presentation. Yes, I asked questions, but I really would like some language around a sales presentation on that initial phone call. Once I've got them, then I'm good.
Who owns this right now? Who owns this? I'm just asking. Yeah, I'm asking the audience. Who owns this? Nobody owns this? Amber goes, I feel strong. Okay, cool. You want to share?
I feel like I'm taking taking over here, being a loudmouth. I was trying to be quiet.
I wouldn't call on you if I didn't think you'd add value. So go ahead.
So Lynette, kind of clarify for me, when somebody, so this person's calling you or you're calling them?
This person's calling.
Okay. You just went silent. I can't hear you. Say that again.
Referred from a realtor. Sorry, I'm on my phone and got a phone call.
Oh, that's okay. Okay. And so when somebody calls you, you go through questions already?
Absolutely. Questions like, what are your goals? Tell me about your family. Those kinds of questions.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I feel like that what I didn't do in the presentation was at the very end to say, okay, this is how this works. Take control of what the next steps are.
Right. So
leadership.
Yeah. So can you tell me how you ended that? So I kind of have a picture of how you end it with the client.
Sure.
Did you take an application? Do you ask for an application? Kind of how do you handle that?
He said, I want to go. I've got 2 other people that I want to call, that sort of thing. And I said, that's when I feel like I should have said, okay, that's great, but I want you to circle back around. At what point in time will you do that? Will you do that this afternoon with me?
I wouldn't go there. I go different. Yeah, I would not go there.
Okay, I mean, if you're shopping, I don't want to waste my time. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm never going to be the lowest, and neither are you at Prime Lit. I mean, you're not going to be the lowest. There's always going to be somebody.
We didn't leave it on rate.
So let me interject here too. And this just reminded me, somebody asked me in Elevate too. I actually recorded myself doing some of these back in the day. So I'm looking through my phone right now, and I'm going to email it to Hillary. I'm going to have her put it on the website, and she's going to tell you when it's up there. So I want you to do that. I called it a doctor frame. So the first thing is your mindset is you have to be a doctor with them. Right. Okay. And then you have to lead after that. What I noticed in my career, there was about 10% of the people that were shoppers. Okay. 90% weren't. There was 10% pure shoppers. Now, 50% might act like shoppers, but that was just a smokescreen. Yeah. So it's leadership.
My sense is that was a smokescreen too, but I let him off the hook somehow.
So this is how I did it. My dialogue was like this. I did it exactly like Amber. If they were a pure rate shopper, I didn't want them in my database, because then that means I got to deal with them again in 3 to 5 years when they're doing it again, and they're going to shop me again. So I was like, this is how I did it. And I'm not kidding you. It worked amazing. I said it like this. Hey, if getting the absolute lowest rate is important to you, I honor and respect that. This is how to get the best deal. I want you to call 3 lenders at the exact same time on the exact day, because here's the truth. Rates change daily, and sometimes they change hourly. Let me show you. And I'd take Zoom and I'd show them in there a pricing change. So you can call me and I right now, and I can give you 4%. You can call somebody else and they can say 3.875, and you think they're better than me if you call them the next day. But I might be able to do 3.75 that day. Did you just see what I did? I shifted that into, I just set a lot there. So listen, in my day, it was a good faith estimate. So you guys shift it, but I said it like this. I said, so this is what I want you to do. Pick a time on a day and I'll be available for you. Okay. So do you want to do it on Wednesday? You want to do it on Thursday? You want to do it on Friday at 1 p.m., whatever. I'll be available for you. Go call those other 2 people, get a good faith estimate from them on that day. Call me at 1 o'clock on this day. Let's make an agreement, and I'll tell you what our deal is. And you know what? If our deal isn't better, I'm gonna recommend that you go with the deal that's best for you. Is that fair? I can't tell you how many people from that dialogue were like, "That sounds like a lot of work."
Gotcha.
And then we're like, or they'd be like, okay, cool, get off the phone. They were like, well, that's interesting. Now I got to be calling these people. Now think about them. Are they really they're going to call these other people at the same time? People aren't going to do that, right? And now they can't do it. And so if they weren't on rate, then they call back right then. And we're like, I couldn't get those people. It's fine. I trust you. Because you were honest. That is the truth about how you, like I'm telling you guys, and I told everybody that, right? Like That's the truth. If you guys want the best deal, this is how you have to do it, because rates do change. They can change a 0.25% in freaking one day, in an hour, in 10 minutes.
Right. Mine was not about rate. It was simply, it was.
No, but if you don't have a takeaway right there, see, Lynette, what happened is you didn't hold the frame from sales. So you didn't have a freight. Do you know, does that make sense? You didn't have a sales leadership frame right there where you're in control of the entire conversation, and you let that person start leading. So in sales, to be great at sales,
there we go.
You have to be leading every part of the transaction. So that's what I say. Is getting the lowest rate important to you? Yes. Getting the rate. Is that how you're going to make decision on a mortgage? Yes. I'm going to go with the absolute lowest deal. Well, in my mind, I'm just like, well, I don't want that client.
Right.
And so then I shifted out of, and then I was like, well, here's the deal. I'm not doing a lick of beans of work for this right now. I'm not doing an estimate unless they go get 2 other estimates and let me be at the end. I'm not doing it, because I'm going to go get another deal. Right, Lynette? So here's the other thing too. I want you to get more deals.
Absolutely.
I want you to get more leads. I want you to get more, so that you're not in your head too much about what did I just do on that one deal. But I will tell you this, that dialogue that I just had in here, and Hillary's recording it, so I want you to do it. And I'm going to forward you me talking to people. But you have to lead that. And as I said, I can't tell you how many people were like, dude, that's a lot of work. I don't want to do that. You know, I want to go with you. And I go like this. Are you sure? Do you feel totally confident?
Right.
What if somebody else had like an 8th lower or something? Are you going to feel like really bad about it? No, I'm good. Okay, cool. Let's move forward. Yeah, I'm going to be chomping on my nails all the time. Well, then you better go get the quotes. I'll be here when you need me. That's how I did it.
And Lynette, if somebody's calling you, that's precious time. So always remember, I try to get that sell right then. I don't let them call other people. So right then I would have said, is now a good time for you to do the application? That's where we start, is we start with an application, and we don't charge anything for a credit check, but we need to get that started so we know if there's any issues. And if they say, well, I've got great credit, awesome. Well, some people do get their, fraud, right? But I always ask them to have an application. Is it better for you to do it on my website or right now?
Yes.
Yeah, and always be using the language of this is how we do it here too. So I like that dialogue is when, if you've lost it already and they're into shopping, and like what I said, like, well, we're going to call the other 2. Then I'm like, you better have a takeaway. But what Amber's saying is you don't want it to get that far. So what's better is, well, let me tell you how I do it here. I take an application and I spend a lot of time making sure that you get the exact mortgage for your needs, because that's way more important to me, because you can get the best rate on a bad mortgage for you, and that's not going to help you a hill of beans. So what we do is we spend 20 minutes. You fill out an application. I do either a mortgage coach or an Excel spreadsheet. And we go over what's the best program for you, and you make the best decision. Is that something you want to do? And
I knew I lost the lead somewhere in the conversation.
Yeah, it's called framing in sales and upper level sales. You have to hold the frame the whole time, and people are going to try to take it over and tell you how you should be doing stuff. And you just have to come back to, this is how we do it here.
Got it.
And I will tell you this, you have to be abundant to do that. And you have to, you have to be in your power. But I will tell you this, that's what they're looking for.
Right. Yes.
They want to be led
to the answer quick as possible.
Yeah, they want to be led. This is how we do it here. So guys, it's 3:00. That was a fantastic hour. I appreciate each and every one of you guys being open and learning in here. So this was recorded. If anybody wants to pick up any of those dialogues in there, we'll probably turn some of those into coaching minutes for you guys too. You guys have a fantastic Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys soon.